Hello, wrestling fans. I'm Jason, back again with the true horror king, Gary. Well, I was going to check in on him, but clearly he's busy, so we'll get to him in a minute when he's finished with whatever that was. No bullshit this week. That's all over. The unbelievable patheticness of an entire group hiding behind one of their wives, I feel like is a perfect ending. So, moving on, we're doing a new thing this week, because that's how I wrote up my draft, and Gary went along with it. How's everything going over there, Gary?
Pretty cool, Jay. I can't complain about any snow in my neck of the woods. It's been quite mild, a lot of rain. I welcome it. Putting me in a better mood, makes me want spring.
Well, we got Happy Gary this week, so that's good to see. Maybe not next week after his Philly gets destroyed, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it is a worry of mine.
I think it's going to be good. I like Philly, but this isn't a football podcast. But so highs, lows, and mid. That's what we're doing this week. Hopefully fans like it. I don't know. I'm just going through different things, and I didn't love the show. I thought it was like decent, good enough.
Yeah, kind of like middle of the pack.
Yeah, I think me and Gary agreed. Just to throw a quick grade out there, I'll go with 7.6. I mean, it hasn't been like terrible, but it hasn't been like I wouldn't tell anyone like, oh, you should definitely check this show out.
Well, I'm gonna be right there with you. I'm gonna do you 1.1 less. I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay, before we get into the whole highs and lows things, many fans, and I'm sure you but then I saw 411 Mania actually said the setup is different this week, as the camera isn't facing the video screen, making it look more like in WWE or AEW show. So you can go ahead since you know what that means and I don't.
Yeah, well, I know exactly what they were going for here. I know a lot of the fans have been kind of clamoring for them to shoot this the way they do their TV, like to have this going forward. I'm going to be fair, or I'm going to be honest here and fair. I'm going to say I honestly like seeing the Tron being the focal point, just because it kind of, if you have that crowd that's kind of not like too big on that side, it kind of hides a lot of that.
So you liked it?
I mean, I liked it prior to this. I didn't.
Okay.
I don't really see any different in the action. So I mean, some people say it gets better camera angles, but
so you like that. So you like that it was different before this?
Yeah, I don't. I like to look at that Tron.
All right. Well, let us know if you're into that kind of thing.
For me.
Let us know if you're into that kind of thing. And now it's time for the highs and lows, which hopefully I get highs and lows and mid. Threw the mid in there, kind of a, hip term I think the kids are using these days. So Gary doesn't know anything about these coming in. So I was like, I'm going to just, start with the highs and see what Gary says. He can agree, whatever. Mickey and Bully. This is my favorite feud right now, and it's not even a real feud. Mickey just I swear she's getting better every week. She's just so good on the mic. She was standing up to Bully, and Bully was backing down a little. Everything about that I loved. They feel like two big stars, and they are for Impact. I mean, at least Mickey for everyone, and Bully these days I would say is a big enough Impact star. What do you say? Did you like that?
Yeah, I definitely like it. But if I was gonna go with the hook, for the show in its current form with the storylines, I would go with I can't think of the name of the team. Khan and Angels and
yeah, okay. The design.
Yeah, it messes me up now that they're just the design.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with the design. I like what they're doing with Sami Callihan. I'm more hooked on that right now, but I see what you're talking about with Bully and Mickey. This is really really cool just seeing the two bounce off each other in the ring.
Okay, well let me then add. I have the design and Sammy in my midsection. Midsection, that doesn't sound good. But all right, let's call it middle.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's just go at midsection. That's funny. So, I have just because I feel like it's moving a little too slow, and I don't know, it's a little confusing. Am I an idiot? Am I not paying attention?
Well, I do know the design. There is big plans with that. I hear they're going to go quite, out there with it at some point. I don't know.
Sorry, Sammy literally just said that today. Somewhere,
Yeah.
on a so that's like news.
Yeah, but I'm hearing a lot of, crying from people that obviously like to bury Impact, and they're comparing it to the storyline that's going on up north with Roman Reigns and that kind of thing. And I don't know. I just watched that product, and I'm not even gonna say the name this week.
No, I don't see that at all, and I do. I mean, I pay attention to that, and I think that's a great feud. But the Bloodline stuff is really good over there. But no, I don't see any connection to that whatsoever. And those people are stupid, and probably part of a stupid site. But we're not.
But I would say if I'm gonna go for the middle of the road, I'd currently say it's probably the Bullet Club, because one week they lose and then they come back and they win strong and they look really good. It's like, which way are you going with this? Are you going to build them to a championship, or,
Interesting. I have them on my highs. I guess part of it is I really like those guys.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I mean, yeah.
That's because I want more for them. They should.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they did get a win this week over Kushida and Knight, who has been pretty good, I think. I don't know. Not sure. I haven't seen fans really talking about him much. I guess he hasn't got a lot of time, but Kushida's pretty awesome, and Knight seems good enough.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about Knight. I have liked what I have seen from him, and that was before we forget, we might want to. I believe this was this week when Chris Bay hit him with a really nasty cutter.
Oh yeah,
that's got to be. I think that by the end of the year, that should be put up for like some kind of award nomination for just be really cool to see.
This is no joke. I posted that on Reddit, and I got an award called the Shocked Award, which I never heard of. I've been on Reddit for 14 years. Anyway.
Oh, was that what you got that for? I knew you.
I get all kinds of stupid awards because I live on these things, but I've never seen it on before. So, that's how I guess.
It felt like me today on my local radio station. I don't know if I'm supposed to say the name or not, but Z93. They gave me a badge for just making a simple comment about a song request.
What happened? They gave you a bad what?
They give me a badge,
I gotcha.
Like a Facebook badge kind of thing.
Yeah, nice to have. I got a whole bunch of them, man. I feel pretty good about it, even though they mean absolutely nothing, and it's kind of ridiculous. But moving on. So, sorry, you said the Bullet Club was a down or a mid?
They're definitely a mid, because
that's fair.
You don't really know
that's fair.
what way they're going to go with them.
That's fair, but I do see it as they kind of hung really well with Motor City Machine Guns, and then they just beat a pretty solid team. I mean, they don't really have many teams, so who else are they going to beat? I've seen people say that. I think even 4-1 said I see. But
I want much more for them.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally fair. But I mean, who are they going to beat? Aussie Open? Remember those guys? So I also have in my highs. I'm sure.
How can I forget them, Jay? They were our lowest viewership.
yeah. Well, yeah, they were low. Yeah, and those guys just popped in and out. We'll get to someone similar later, Mr. You mirror. But right now, I got another high right now, which is the new or old and new again sexy version of Killer Kelly. If anyone doesn't remember, that's how she came into Impact. She had sexy vignettes and kind of like badass sexy, because her name was Killer. So I thought it was she'd be kind of like a seductive kind of, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, she had back then she had the MMA gear, and then had the mouthpiece and stuff.
Yeah, well that's when she came, but yeah, and then she came in like that. But before that, they had vignettes that were she was in bed.
Okay, yeah, they did kind of hint.
Yeah.
I said, it kind of reminded me they were trying to go with her. They kind of felt like they were trying to go the direction of Twin Peaks. I don't know if you ever seen the TV series for that.
Yeah, most of it.
Kind of sultry music playing in the background.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting. But then she came in, she had the mouthpiece.
Kind of Laura Palmer from that Twin Peaks kind of show. Kind of like a flirt, but don't know if she could be a killer or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly how I thought she would be, or something like that. A killer, hot. But then she just came in with the mouth. She came in with the mouthpiece. She didn't do anything somewhat hot at all. I mean, other than looking hot as hell. I mean, half of her ass is out, or most of her ass is out most of the time, and she's really attractive, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't have any, like, kind of, like, vignettes or backstage things, and this week they did, and I loved it. Like, her teaming up with Taylor Wilde, like, I thought that was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, the backstage with
Yeah, it was, yeah, it was like a sexy Killer Kelly, kind of like, you know, like into the whole Taylor Wilde craziness thing. Like, I love it. Taylor Wilde's, I mean,
Well, what I kind of liked Rosemary a lot here this week because she was kind of like even these girls are too these girls are too kind of like sick for me.
oh yeah. So I think you agree that's in the high column.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like the way they're going with that. I can't wait to see, you know, if they bring in other women tag teams because I know Gail Kim had just mentioned not too long ago on a podcast that's what their goal is, to bring in more tag teams for the women's division.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I'm not going to get into a whole Scott and Gail thing. I don't know what the hell's going on backstage. Who even knows if Scott's going to return? I mean, I'm guessing he's going to, but I mean, Gail seems like she's forever killing
It's really weird timing, like we were bringing that kind of stuff up on
oh yeah, I know. Then he got
media, like he kind of went into into hiding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he's selling the. Well,
yeah, me too, but it's just weird, you know.
Yeah, I don't know when you got to sell that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you can check for our other one of our recent episodes for more of that. How about Kaz? I have Kaz and Kenny King. For some reason, I have them together. Just they've been awesome lately. I just like Kaz. Like, I feel like he fills like a great hole, and Kenny King, I feel like he's kind of been on another level lately.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. Can't really say as I have really anything high right now. Like, that really has me high on the product. I mean, it's kind of like medium, kind of like not quite touching hot right now for me.
Damn, that is harsh. Fair, but
I think with me, I'm not getting a lot of matches that are wrestling heavy.
Totally fair, but yeah, I mean, didn't think you were gonna say that, but yeah, totally fair. I mean, what about the main event? Did you release like that? There was a lot going on. That was the Design and Sammy against Josh, Kaz.
Oh, that was like all the. Oh, okay, yeah, that was like all the like.
For me, a few too many guys.
Design and Callahan.
Yeah, for me, there's too few many guys for that to be like a great main event.
Yeah, I liked it, but like, I just wish it would have had more time.
Yeah, I wish it had two less guys and one. Now I wish it was Yu who. Well, let me get to Yu fast. Who is on my not the mid?
Yeah, he's been hinting he's gonna be all defeat.
Yeah, he's on the low now, as he tweeted he wants to wrestle Jericho. And listen, I understand, like, whatever, it is what it is. If you're not getting paid or whatever, but it's yet another Impact talent who was good. A lot of people liked him, but he will have been used for nothing, just like the Aussie Open, who I mentioned earlier.
Well, it's hard to get invested. Like, say you're a new, casual viewer. Say you happen to watch this week, and then you see that tweet. I mean.
And this is only with dudes. Like, I cannot stress this enough. You don't see any of the female knockouts. Like, sorry, female wrestlers knockouts, whatever you want to call them. Like, this doesn't happen. Like, nobody's like, you don't see Jordan like, oh, I want to go here. I want to wrestle. And I don't know. I don't know if it's like just the respect that Gail gets. I don't know what the difference is, but there's a huge difference between the men and the women on the roster. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they can get any woman. If somebody gets released tomorrow, I feel like they can get them just because of whatever it is. If it's Gail, if it's some kind of magic that something other than Gail.
Yeah,
if a guy, what I mean, like if a guy gets released tomorrow, like we wouldn't think for a second Impact had a chance.
Yeah, we keep the bolstered talent for the women pretty even, but like we're having an
weird
the men's division because it's like every time you like Kenny King just re-signed, but which thank God Kenny did the right thing.
Yeah, nice to see.
But we're losing talent like in other things like we don't have that all in check yet. Like they kind of at least stop the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let me jump to another high for me was Steph DeLander debuting next week, which isn't really a high for this week, I guess, but. Again, just nice to see another friggin' good knockout coming in.
Got her own vignette too, so
I mean, God, they just talked about the knockout, so that's not really much needed more.
Have you seen her prior to this anywhere? I mean, like NXT?
I've literally seen what she looks like, and that's about it. I know her name is Persia Parada because it's very similar to.
Okay, was that the lady that curly with the curly long black hair? You sent me a picture of her.
I believe so.
Yeah.
She's attractive. I will just say that. Don't want to get in any
She kind of reminded me of the valet Woman. I don't know if you remember Woman, Chris Benoit's wife.
I swear, I've seen like 5 different pictures of her, and she looks she looks totally different. Like in some of the pictures, she looks like really tall, and in some of the pictures, like I don't know, she just looks like normal and like cute, and like some she looks like a killer. So I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on what she's going for that week, but yeah, she's got a bunch of great looks, so that'll be nice to see. And then I got Swan push or repush is nice to see.
Oh yeah, with them getting the number 1 contender here.
Yeah, I mean, just to have somebody kind of.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to give them something, but it's just the booking before this is troubling for me.
Fair enough. I'm not the one booking. We both know who was. But I also have my last up. Dango had a quick backstage moment that gave me a laugh. And to be fair, I think that's kind of like what you were saying. There's not really much up. These are kind of like not really great things, but I'm reaching.
Yeah, they're give or take. And not to mention, Dango did sign with us, so I give him props for that. At least, that's why I'm kind of curious. I wasn't ever big on him up north, but like I don't know, he's kind of winning me over weekly here a little bit.
Yeah, I mean we got to be fair. I mean I think we all disliked Brian Myers. I mean, not all. I mean, me and you at least. Like when he came in, like we saw him.
Yeah.
WWE.
I honestly couldn't stand him when he was with WWE.
Yeah, and I think we saw him. Like he came in as like even like I think we saw him as like way worse than Cardona, and now I think we see it the other way. We would love to see Cardona leave and him to stick around because.
Oh yeah, I mean, because like I don't know.
How much better was Myers by himself with that goddamn group? That was funny.
Yeah, and then he had that unique look. He had the eye patch, and like I just like how he reinvented himself.
He did all kinds of things. He was cool with the DMC, which it should be called. It sounds so much better than the Digital Media Championship, but I can't get everything I want, sadly. Okay, time for the lows. Now here's my big low, and I'm shocked because I kind of hate to say it because I love Raven, but what the hell was that? Was Raven and Reese? Who I'm sure a lot of people had to Google who the hell was that? Like, who is that? Who is that for? Also, it lasted like I feel like I don't know if you noticed, but I feel like the camera like just hung on it for like 8 seconds too long, or like just.
Well, to be honest with you, at first when I seen him, I thought he was the wrestler Kurgan, who was part of the Oddities.
Okay, yeah, I remember him
back in the day. That's what I thought it was.
I would have remembered him more.
Yeah, and it turns out it was Reese who, I guess he was like repackaged several times in WCW. So I guess you kind of would have had to been in that era to, I mean, you could have went back and watched it in the WWE library.
Oh, so he wasn't even ECW? Or maybe he was
for a little. I don't, he might have been at some point, but he
was in Raven's
brought in as the Yeti. To come and take out Hulkamania.
Oh my God, that's right, he was the Yeti. Oh my God, if you don't know who the Yeti is,
Tony Schiavone calls it the Yeti.
Oh my God, if there's any youngsters out there, look up the Yeti and WCW, Hogan, Dungeon of Doom, whatever. I mean,
with
one of the worst spots in the history of wrestling, maybe one of the worst debuts.
He looked more like the Mummy.
He just came in and it looked like him and the Giant were just like double humping Hogan like from each side. It was oh God. But yeah, again, I don't know who that's for. I don't know who Tommy Dreamer is for. Like I just wish a lot of this stupid shit would go away. And I'm good with comedy. You can do comedy.
I think a lot of this stuff would be better served. I know you're not big on a meteor match or whatever, like time consuming. But to me, I feel more complete in a show when I get to see that versus like this tomfoolery, if you will.
I'm totally with you. I mean, I'm not huge on long.
I know
it's so stupid to say. I'm not huge on long, great matches.
But I mean, like if you could keep it in that 25-30 minute range.
I totally agree. Or another. I mean, two 15-minute matches, whatever the hell. Anything better than a bunch of stupid bullshit. Speaking of stupid bullshit, Matt Cardona was on the show. I mean, I don't really have anything other than that. He basically did his job. I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say this week about him, just because he made a stupid like what was it? Like he tried to like come back at Hendry, and it was like purposely bad. So I give a little props for that.
The thing is, I noticed that segment with him, but I don't know, I just zoned him out so bad. And like,
yeah.
You brought up that he is a really bad rapper, and then I went back later on. I was like, Jesus, this is cringe. This is cringe TV.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what he was like. He was trying to be a bad rapper, but again, like, who wants to see that? It's not a good. I mean, I agree. Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, kind of like that with Kurt Angle backstage with the. Remember, he's trying to play the guitar.
Yeah, but I mean, Kurt Angle is always funny, so.
Yeah, he definitely is, but like.
Definitely not compare Matt Cardona to Kurt Angle in any way. unless WWE is listening, then definitely.
No, I just mean in the sense like the segment's kind of like corny,
yeah.
not the performer.
Yeah, no, I got you. And again, it wouldn't be that bad if they didn't have like other corny things happening. Okay, I'm not sure if this is corny, but Giselle. I've given her some stuff for different reasons, but it all comes down to I don't think she's that good in the ring, and I think most people would agree if you look around like writers and stuff who talk about and review the shows, like no one saw this as like 411, for example. This is He-Man Shoe, who I think is.
Well, I guess she's referred to as the Black Widow because wherever she
goes,
yeah, and she brings bad luck.
Yeah, that's a real thing. She actually said that.
Yeah.
She's the Black Widow of wrestling because she destroys every tag team she touches, and she doesn't care about Tasha Steelz or The Influence or Chelsea Green. They're all gone because of her, which to me is just pointing to you just named a bunch of people every fan would rather see on television instead of you. So, you know what I mean? Like, don't mention Tasha or Chelsea Green of all people. Like,
yeah,
oh man. But it was just I thought that was just a terrible, absolutely terrible. Jesus Christ, why am I blanking? A promo, just terrible promo.
She was losing the crowd here at several points during her segue here in the ring with the mic, and I just felt like people were like, and if we would have been any place but here on this night, I think it would have been like Philly. They would have been started saying, "Shut the F up."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got to throw in this was a great crowd again. Last week it was great. It wasn't that. I don't think we thought the show was great. I don't think we even thought the show was that good. But the crowds have been fantastic. Like, I think we would have bashed these shows more if the crowds weren't so good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That was a selling point. I think that's what kept me so focused on the episode this week was the crowd being. I think was this the first week we were in?
You know those things better. You know those things better than me. I still thought we were in a.
Yeah, I think 1 week. I think. Let's see. I can't remember if it was we were in Atlanta and then we went to Florida, like bang and bang, like this week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, but I'm so screwed up because I read a bunch of spoilers and like a bunch of things didn't happen that I thought would, so I'm so fucked up.
Well, we've been having so many tapings, like. You know, like we had a set of tapings during a taping that was going on, and it kind of throws me off at this point because it's a lot of content being done in like 2 months time, you know?
Yeah. I don't want to say that's a cheap thing, but it could be. Just throwing it out there. I honestly don't know.
I think this is the first time we've overlapped.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to do. I mean, I don't know. Maybe people need a vacation or something. Maybe it's a nice thing. I honestly don't know. But that was a bad promo, and I'd be shocked if she ever got one. And that was an in-ring promo, which I always say should be reserved and usually is for stars or a big segment or both, like Mickey and Bully. They were the only people to get a big in-ring, microphone segment. I mean, she didn't have a big one, but she talked after beating Savannah Evans, which to me, she looks like a stick figure next to Savannah Evans in most knockouts. Like, it's just hard to buy, and especially when you're not a great wrestler. Like, you know what I mean? If she can do like, if she was like Deanna, who is incredibly short, no offense.
Well, I think it a lot, like during this segment, like, like outside the ring and stuff, I thought Jay Vidal looked like a star out there, like just getting involved in the matches. Like, that's the way a heel is supposed to perform. Like, I kind of feel like he gets it.
I think he's been standing out more than her, which should tell Impact something, but It's not going to, so we'll see what happens. The Death Dolls, I don't know how you feel about this. I mean, I kind of have them in the mid-low. I'm not sure myself because I love all three. I really don't like the gimmick. Here's an example. Taya is in MLW, and she's like the featherweight champion or some kind of champion. But whatever. It might be the women's champion. I don't think it's women's. I think it's featherweight, but whatever. Like, she's used as Taya. She's just Taya. You know what I mean? She's badass
Yeah,
Taya.
I definitely agree with how you're saying. Like, you said they're like on the lower level with you with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because like you had brought up that MLW was treating her so much better. And what are we really giving Taya currently? We're giving her a title, but it feels like they don't let her get much offense in, and it kind of like is the Rosemary, and Havoc or just is that her name? Jessica.
Yeah, I'm calling her Havoc.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like I don't know. I think they're a better pairing for a tag team, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree, but I also just want to see badass Havoc back. I think that's another thing they're. I mean, that's another thing they're missing, or make Savannah badass. You know, you got two monsters there. Maybe make that a tag.
Yeah, now you got the Cannibal and.
How about a monster tag team with the two of them? Like, Havoc is awesome.
Yeah, kind of like the Twin Towers.
Like, if you started watching Impact recently, you would think Havoc is like a joke character. And she's awesome. She's a former world champion. She's a great wrestler.
Well, I mean, look how successful that was for up north with Hakeem and Big Boss Man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess she seems like she's having a blast, but that doesn't sell tickets. So now a lot of people may disagree with this one, including you. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of Impact fans will. Johnny Swinger, I have him on the lows, and here's what I got. Johnny Swinger, he was fun, but nothing lasts forever. It's time to go. Do you agree? Too much?
No, Jay, I'm at the point where I feel like they don't have nothing of substance for them. Like what happened when we were doing the Swingers Palace and, Wrestle House and things that were actually interesting and, kind of hooked the viewer. But like as of late, it kind of just feels like, I don't know, the cliches are kind of like a little too much, and it takes the product down a little bit for me because like it's more of that tomfoolery, as I mentioned, and I feel like we'd be better served maybe starting a new storyline with a different character and kind of like maybe sticking him in like maybe occasionally on a commentary, or something, kind of give us that comic relief on the commentary once in a while that Matthew Raywald just doesn't seem to be too good at doing.
Nope. Or being excited or anything other than just, so this is what's
I can tell you right
on.
now, if I was on the comment booth out there, commentating, I would be excited every week.
I mean, at least get someone who can fake it better. Like, that's the point. Like, I've seen indie guys who, like, I don't want to, like, a lot of people scream just like morons, like, it's the greatest thing that ever happened. Like, I don't want one of those assholes.
Well, I'm a lot different when I go to a live event and say on this podcast. Like, I kind of keep it, kind of tongue in cheek here, but like when I go to a live event, I'll like, shake the ring, like the barrier outside the ring. Like I had front row and I was like shaking it and getting into it.
Gary may seem, let's say, somewhat normal on the podcast, but in real life, I'm going to say I haven't met him, but probably seems like a lunatic that would rip your face off if you look at him the wrong way.
Yeah, I've said, I ain't gonna lie, I've had a few issues with some people at the takeout place where I live.
But also, I'm sorry,
shit, basically.
I hate to stress this, especially because it's on you and you're a huge Impact fan, but so am I. Or, I mean, I feel like you're a bigger one at this point than me. And, like, you even said, like, you couldn't find highs on this show when, like, I tried to make that a segment. Like, I just have to point that out. Like, Impact is in a rough... I agree. I'm just saying, like, Impact's in a rough place. And, like, I feel like fans are a little complacent where they should all kind of be pointing this out more so it doesn't continue.
I think with me, I just don't get that. It's not a knock on creative so much. I just think it's like there's nothing that like gives me that goosebump moment currently with a product.
I don't know more, for example. That was a great.
Yeah. And like anything that becomes interesting for me in an Impact environment right now, or versus now versus then, I don't like. They're not on the same level, not even close.
Yeah. Pretty fair. Okay, back to my. Hang on. Yeah, I'm done with all that. Okay, back to my mid since I am out of everything else. Santino. I don't know. I mean, sometimes it makes me laugh, but again, when you go to like what we've been saying, like there's too much dumb comedy where like Santino's dumb comedy I'm cool with,
There's
but
too much comedy, Jay, going on right
yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm cool with Santino's dumb
Yeah.
comedy. He even makes me laugh, but when you throw in 50 other comedy segments, it's
We're about
stupid.
any more lately. We've been about, I'd say 55-45 comedy.
Yeah, like a crazy and not funny. Like they have in the past, they've done a lot of funny.
Do funny better than anybody, but now
Oh, yeah.
it just kind of seems like we're going back into the 80s time machine, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or like it's getting that really bad comedy.
Yeah, it's a rough time right now. I have Mac. Sorry, I missed Macklin. He was in the. Oh no, he's in the midsection. Sorry, it keeps getting me, making myself laugh with that. I mean, because like we've been saying this for weeks, Macklin like kind of wins and he loses and he wins and he loses. But I do love the character, and I do think he's kind of getting a push here, and I think he's going to make his way into the main event, if not three-way in the upcoming match. Then maybe the next he'll get Josh next time, and maybe he'll be the one to beat Josh.
Yeah, who knows? I just like to say too, I like to wish Big Con a happy birthday. He turned 43.
Damn, my age. Probably the greatest age in the world since it's my age.
He's your age, Jay.
Okay, here's one. Here's a question for you. Trey Miguel. I have in my mid because awesome wrestler, but I hate the stupid spray paint. Like he doesn't need it. It's weird. I don't know.
I'm gonna go opposite of you. I'm gonna go with Taurus.
Was he on the show this week? I don't.
No, but I mean, like.
Oh yeah, sure.
Kind of like tying it to it. I just kind of feel like they don't like they give us a shot at like maybe getting a very prominent Taurus, and then like they, you know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just mean.
You know what I mean?
Like I don't have any.
Now we're gonna have Taurus be done through Steve. You know what I mean? Like crazy. Yeah. Like he's.
Well, I don't have any. I never really had any big thoughts on Taurus just because the whole AAA thing seems confusing.
Yeah, like, totally. Which that is fair, but like I just feel like.
Sorry.
He's just too damn talented to not.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree.
You know what I mean? Like for his size.
Yeah, AAA is crazy talent though. I just don't know. Maybe like they can't win a title or.
Yeah. We had addressed that. I don't know. Maybe anybody out there that watches a AAA product, maybe they would can tell us in our comments when this video goes up.
I can say this. I do know they're very hard to work with. Or like I've read like from pretty much everyone, like everyone has a problem working with AAA, but whatever. Well, sorry. What do you think about?
Is that
like? Do you like?
Conan, you mean? Or?
Sorry, what?
Is that because of Conan and all that, or?
I'm not sure. I mean,
Conan.
I would guess people that work around him. I mean, he's always complaining about different things. I'm not sure exactly.
I know he ended up leaving them to go to the Crash, didn't he?
I believe so. Yeah, I'm not sure what's Conan actually. What the hell he's doing these days, other than his podcast.
I'd still like to know what the hell happened way back when with Aero Lucha that was going to be coming to Pop.
Oh yeah.
I always wondered what happened to that.
Well, I think Sammy Guevara was like a big part of it, so. I'm guessing AEW.
The Harris brothers and somebody else was going to get involved in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of things disappear, and I'm afraid that could have an impact if they don't wake the hell up.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I'm curious. Do you think the Trey Miguel spray paint is stupid? Or
yeah. I mentioned, so like somebody said, what they should have did is they should have like had Taurus maybe win the title back then. And then, like, have them get a revenge match, or return match, or a rematch.
Then turn spray.
And then had him use the spray paint the second time to get the win. Like to get the title off Taurus.
I get that. I guess that'd be fair. I just don't like the whole spray paint part.
I don't either, because I kind of feel like, especially seeing the way they're going, it's kind of like he's like the X Division Hulk Hogan with the
it's and again, like it. like a lot of things are doing it. It's like it looks outdated and like they have outdated people like Dreamer. It's just I don't know. It's like too much of I don't know. Not great stuff.
Yeah, it totally comes off like that Kurt Hennig. Remember when he took was it the world title or the intercontinental title? And I think it was a world title, and he smashed it to pieces.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Kind of feels like they're borrowing a little bit from that in a way, because I mean, you're basically what you're doing is you're taking that title belt, and you're spraying it, and you're defacing it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just one of a billion things that's happening. I would say the same for Giselle beating anyone of substance. You're defacing the awesome knockouts division. But we'll see what happens if she beats anyone better in the future. Who knows? Interesting stat. Masha doesn't speak English. Or at least steamingly. I mean, I've never seen her speak English. This week, well, also funny how Bully Ray seemingly speaks Russian. I thought that was fun. Just so
I still can't get over that creepy smile.
it was so random. He looked like he wanted to eat.
It's like you can see the dentures and everything going on.
Yeah, Bully had a smile like I want to eat that girl, like
yeah,
not in a sexual way, like as in a I want to literally eat her as a human, like.
All I can think of is he's trying to take her under his wing and like because they're both hardcore, you know what I mean?
I'm thinking he might use her against.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like against Mickey, because like Mickey's totally getting under his skin and just totally fucking with him and.
Yeah, I like the pairing here with Bully and Masha just because of their, their heelism, if you will.
I think the most amazing and maybe sad part is Bully Ray might be one of the most interesting characters on the show right now.
I know. I can't. The thing is, that's the sad thing. I can't argue with any of that because, like, I don't know. I think that's the status quo of the company right now. I just wish we could get that big name that that more like kind of viewership grabbing kind of thing that we are currently missing right now.
Yeah, my last one was Josh, who I hate to have in the mid this week, but I'm sorry. First was Crazy Steve, who I have. He's fine, just fine. I mean, I think you would agree. He's fine. He doesn't hurt me.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, the thing is, he's crazy. He's gonna, he could go anywhere at any three of those depending on how you look at it. He could be lower.
Yeah, good enough character.
Yeah,
I have Josh as Josh. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world, but as a character, not so great. And like, what's there left for him to do? I feel like they badly need a new champion who has new opponents, like just a fresh air. No, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm a big walking weapon fan, I mean, I would put him up higher, but I do see that he does need that challenged opponent, somebody that can take him to the limit, because like he's always walking away with the title, and like they really don't have anything that like really, that's gonna keep like gonna make him any more like unbeatable, because he's already done it all, like you say.
Yeah, I think they booked him too strong, actually, which, I mean, I don't know, it's not really a problem unless you have somebody in line, which I think, sorry, I don't know why I said which a bunch of times.
Well, we're starting, I think with him, a lot of the problem is we're running out of any credible people, that are on his level, and like, we don't have a depth of talent that we can just, pull, like another 3 or 4 more talents that.
Like, I believe Kenny King could be. I believe Kushida could be. But I mean, they would need a lot of.
Yeah,
they would need months
and whatnot.
Well, I mean, no, they would need like months of kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of it too
build up.
Yeah, like they a timing or luck, if you will. You know what I mean? Like maybe be like using a chair or.
Yeah, I think the only person that is seriously close would be Macklin, and that would have to be some kind of bullshit, because like I don't think he's on the level of Josh. I don't think anyone is even close, because like everything we just said. I mean, and again, it's nothing on Josh. He's incredible. He's done nothing but put on great matches, even with Bully Ray. But like, it's just not like, I don't know. I feel like he's not like an exciting champion. I feel like Moose, for example, was just like a more exciting champion. Also got to mention Robles had a great idea of turning Moose. Remember the Moose chants?
Oh yeah.
Remember how over Moose was? Like, you can bring the football thing into it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and then he's kind of fallen kind of flat as of late.
Yeah, he's too big. He's too good to be. And I don't even think he was on. Yeah, I don't think he was on this show, but whatever. Maybe I missed it. Maybe at a backstage thing.
I don't see him anywhere here on the card unless he popped up like.
But yeah, wherever he is, he's in a bad spot. He recently he lost to Hendry, right? I think that was his.
Yeah.
So he's in the digital media title picture, which is not a great place to be. No offense, but I mean for him, a former world champion who.
Well, and that's another division that is lacking any depth or. Any reason to because it's to really get invested in it right now.
I hate to say it, it's a joke division. No, I mean,
yeah, I don't know what it is.
I mean, I've got to give it to Hendry. Sorry, I bashed out the comedy, but Hendry is funny.
Well, I don't know what it is with Impact secondary titles. It seems like they never really consistently can keep them like getting any momentum.
Yeah, I blame fans for asking for the Knockouts titles when they clearly just don't have time. Also,
no, I know. I was against the Knockouts tag team titles just because, like, I already feel like we focus a lot on the women already.
And you need so many people to make tag teams.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it's like if you don't really outside of like the two sets of tag teams, I mean, who do you really have? You're going to do is get a lot of makeshift.
No, I mean, they just made Kelly and Taylor, who will probably be a good tag team. But
that's a really good one. I mean, I wouldn't even call that one really makeshift because both girls can go.
Oh yeah, but we haven't even seen them yet, though.
Yeah, no, not as a team, but like individually, we know what they can do.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure they'll be great. But like you said, like they're put together and not like an actual I don't know. But to be fair, I don't know many tag teams that are like out there, female wrestlers that are like an actual tag team.
No, like there was that one team. What was it? Like they were a sister tag team. There was something to do with like
the Sea Stars.
Yeah, What I mean, I thought we were getting them, and then nope.
All right, well,
we're gonna land them, and I've seen her, the smaller of the two. Used to see her around on different like indies, like Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and.
Well, that's about it for that section. Now, we're going to finish up with a question that I have, which kind of scares me, but not scares me, but, well, it's just a question. Whatever. Has MLW passed Impact Wrestling in the United States? Gary, you would probably know better. I'm guessing Impact is probably beating the shit out of them outside of the United States. I'm sorry. Pause. I totally forgot, but I was going to mention this earlier. Brandon Thurston tweeted that Stardom led Impact Wrestling in global web search in most weeks since July. Japan is the only country Stardom has the lead in. Impact leads in every other region. So this dude, I mean, I'm sure he makes people pay for this information before he actually posts it, but he's pointing out that more people in Japan are Googling Stardom than Impact Wrestling. So, sorry, I just had to mention that part. So, yeah,
I'll quote LeBron James. Duh.
Yeah, so, I mean, I stress the United States because I don't know the rest. I don't know how MLW is doing compared to Impact in the rest of the world. But, they just got moved to Reels, which is a little bit smaller than Axis. I'm not sure if they're doing anything else to kind of, add to households. It might be, I'm not sure. But I mean, I'm not sure. Did you look at the spoilers for the latest week? I think I sent them to you.
For the tapings?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really overly invested in it. Like when I started seeing, no knock on Barry Horowitz or anybody like that, but like.
Sorry. The MLW tapings.
Oh no, I don't think I got around to looking at that, Jay.
Okay. Well, just really quick, I'm just going to run down some names from the latest MLW taping that's going to air on. I don't know. It's going to be on the Reels thing. John Morrison is the national openweight champion who beat Willie Mack.
I knew he was in there.
Okay, so he beat Willie Mack. Davey Boy Smith defeat Alex Kane. I'll be honest, I don't know Kane a lot, but I know his name. Matthew Justice, who was a pretty young, solid guy.
I've never seen him.
Calvin Tankman. I know he was on AEW. Hammerstone defeated Fatu.
Yeah, Hammerstone.
I mean, I know those guys are really good in what seems like a never-ending feud, but some good talent. Okay, Lince Dorado defeated Delirious. I forget who Lince Dorado is, but I believe Callisto maybe.
Yeah, I believe so. I can't remember, but I do the.
Okay, ready? Leo Rush defeated Davey Richards.
Wow.
I don't know if you know the one called Manders, but he's decent.
Oh yeah, knee pad up, knee pad down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they got Manders, who I think is cool. They had Real One, who is, Jesus, what the hell is his name? Real One. It was him and him and Morrissey, who is now Big Bill.
Oh, Enzo.
Oh yeah, Enzo. Yeah, he's called a Real One now. I mean, Jesus, they couldn't call him like Enzo. I thought that was better. But so he wrestled Mance Warner, who again, a guy I really like. Like, I'm shocked at how much talent they have. It made me like really shake my head and be like,
I think what it is, I don't know if it's so much talent they have. It's more like they have more flamboyancy with their talent. You know what I mean? Like that, like a lot of the talent are like better on the mic, put on,
oh yeah,
are more familiar in the wrestling world, and like
Mance Warner, for example.
Yeah,
he might not be a great wrestler, but he's like a great character and
like what they don't make up for, like maybe like character, they make up for it in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, even like John Morrison, for example.
Yeah,
he's like a guy that you can like, kind of like a tentpole kind of guy.
I don't know with him. I don't know if the reason why he hasn't come back to Impact is because kind of like wasn't the same management in place when he left. I don't know if he doesn't want to return, maybe because of that. Because Scott's there, and wasn't Don Callis was there too, right, at the time?
I can't keep up with the hell they were doing.
Yeah, I
think
Don Callis was there, and then like that's when Austin Aries was calling out the management, like looking up in the upper deck, and I wonder if maybe John Morrissey Morrison doesn't want to be a part of this because just because of that, like he wants.
Or it could be he's ahead of it and knows that Ty is going to be sticking around Impact and not sticking around MLW and not Impact.
Yeah.
Now I'm just throwing that out there because she's the MLW featherweight champion, which is a lot cooler than being the kind of the third wheel on a comedy.
Yeah, like, and there's no, there's no direction for her currently other than in the Knockouts tag team.
Yeah, no direction for a lot of things that's happening. Also, to be fair, they did have the FBI on this show, Little Guido and Ray Jazz. It says. I don't think that was the other guy, but maybe they have their own new FBI. I don't know.
Wonder if did they go back to?
Also, sorry, they had Duke the Dumpster, but he came out as the guest referee for a dumpster match. So, like, to me, that's okay, especially when we're doing a podcast about a show where Tommy Dreamer is getting weekly matches, like.
Yeah.
And I would laugh like Duke the Dumpster, it's a dumpster match. Like, it's that simple. Like, I already forget the guy's name who came out with Raven this week, but like there was nothing about that made any sense. Like, it didn't make any sense. It was just random, like a dumpster and a dumpster guy. Okay, that's enough for me, but whatever. My point was, like, I don't know, there was a lot of shit going on, and the Taya thing kind of scares me, and the fact that I didn't even know they had Johnny. Like, I didn't know they had Lince Dorado. Like, Delirious is also working over there. You know who their head of like whatever is? It's Santino. Like, it's weird. It's almost like it might be like a better version of what Impact is doing right now, but I'm not watching it, so I don't know.
It kind of feels like a lot of ways the roster seemed like a Raw and a SmackDown, or.
Oh, I mean, Leo Rush versus Richards. I mean, Jesus.
You know what I mean? Kind of like bragging rights. Like who's better,
Well, to be fair, I'm sure they went out of their way to make like a badass night, the first night. I mean, Davey Boy Smith, another great talent.
But like, getting back to what you had mentioned about who do I think's better, like domestically, I would definitely give the edge to MLW for the fact that they're on a roll, landing all these distribution deals and all this other stuff. But I still kind of feel like Impact has the better production. Their venues are much cleaner that they're choosing and things like that. Like, I would put maybe the gap is definitely closed, and I think if Impact doesn't start doing more to get them recognition, I think, I mean, maybe not globally, but MLW is definitely on the cusp of passing them. They haven't already.
I cannot disagree at all. They have something Impact is badly lacking, and I don't know how they can get it back anytime soon. BUZZ, buzz. And if they put on some hot show their first night on Reels and they get more fans, and I don't know, I know Reels isn't great, but I don't even have it, but I'm going to find the show somewhere and I'm going to watch it. And like, even if you're not paying for a show, you can then talk about it on social media. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, as long as you're watching and talking about it, like it creates more buzz. And yeah, like, we don't like saying this as an Impact podcast, but it is what it is. Like, we're not going to lie and be a bunch of marks like some other people saying that, oh, it's great having the talent come in and out and not actually having signed talent, because who the hell wants people to stick around?
Well, who knows, Jay? Maybe by another year, maybe with that is something we could look into, like maybe doing a second show and maybe like doing the MLW stuff as on the side. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, guess what? We might have to, thanks to Scott and whoever else and Anthem's laziness, because, yeah, well, whatever. Also, MLW, got to give him credit,
Oh, yeah.
The dude,
Court Bauer
gave a really good, whatever the hell he said. But basically he said, yeah, I got my ass off social media and I basically went to work. And I just thought it was like the most badass quote that I've ever heard, because like that's one of my biggest things, that so many promoters and shit, they spend so much time on Twitter, when I know just like there's no way the amount of tickets, like not many people are buying tickets on Twitter. People are on social media to fuck around. They're not buying tickets. People buy tickets through like Google or like,
Well, I hate it when Impact fans start making excuses like they see MLW's pulling off success after success, and then the first thing an Impact fan does is say, yeah, but their prices aren't the same as ours. And it's like, yeah, but the thing is, they're not that much different, and they're doing good with their, they don't need a street team. They're getting these places sold out or near sellouts, and then their crowds are like, I mean, I don't know if you first seen them when they were in the Cicero Stadium. This is before Impact went there.
No.
They were doing, I think they did the biggest show they'd ever done in Cicero. It was like nearly 3,000 fans.
Wow. No, I did not know that. That was recent?
Yeah, so it's about, well, not recent, but like in the last year and a half.
Oh, well, I guess good for them. I was kind of sleeping on them until the Reels thing, and I guess
they're definitely got all kinds of momentum. That's why I feel like Impact is like they've either gotten opportunities and they failed, or they're holding out for that really big,
block. We said that a bunch of times. Like, it seems like they're holding out for something, but at some point you got to just be like, nope, they're not. They don't have it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, we're always rooting for them. Obviously, we've been doing this for God knows how long. We don't miss, unlike many podcasts.
We're in our second season with a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I have to stress, unlike many podcasts, just look around. Not many podcasts do weekly show reviews for a reason, because like they stick to like main, like the big shows or news. People do news because that's what gets clicks. And we can do news and we can get clicks and we can do 10-minute segments on, whatever the hell, but we like talking about the whole show and doing it old school.
The thing is, it takes a lot of patience to do these weekly reviews, because like if you're not feeling the product, you're not gonna choke this week, right, Jay?
No, sorry, just drop something.
That still cracked me up from last week.
Yeah, if anybody wants to hear a great choking incident of me almost dying, listen to last week at about 5 minutes in.
Me going all Garth from Wayne's World, not knowing what to do.
Man, that was just, I was right about to cut it, and I listened back, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was totally Wayne's World. Like, hello, what? Where am I? Oh God, is Jay dead? So yeah, that was a fun 30, 90 seconds, whatever the hell it was. And I think that's about it for this week. Sorry, we're so negative, but we don't want to be. We just want things to be better, and we don't want this thing to die. And like, look what's happened. Like, remember when they were like fighting for number 2 for so long, remember? And now what? They're 4.
Well, we do have some good news to end this podcast on this night. The VIP and floor seats are all sold out for Windsor for the Sacramento.
Okay, I'm
already, and it's like I think it's got like March or April or something that we're going to Windsor.
Sorry, kind of random, but I did miss Speedball, who was on my high list, and he was the one guy I believe is in a spot to beat Josh, or at least close.
Yeah, I definitely could see it. I don't know. Everybody seems to be clamoring to the newly crowned champion, Steve Macklin. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings and stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you with that.
Pull the trigger on Macklin event.
Yeah, plus he's a heel, and Josh has been the face champ for a while. We do need a heel champ. I'd like to see Moose come back out of nowhere and kind of steal it somehow, but yeah, I guess it's Macklin. Macklin's time.
I've got some more information too here I want to pass along. Apparently at Wrestling Revolver on March 4th, Bay and Ace Austin are going to be taking on Trey Miguel and none other than another third of the Rascals and Zachary Wentz. So.
Zachary Wentz. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Somebody actually.
We're going to see a bit of maybe we don't get, that third member. But I hear Myron Reed has been like kind of playing his cards, and I think he's been kind of keeping an eye on Impact. So maybe he'll be the third Rascal.
Well, I mean, again, that's another thing. MLW, if they're signing people, they have to be dropping people. But like Impact just has to start signing people. Like it's nice having Kenny King for a year and whatever else, but get some new fresh blood or something. Like a Leo Rush kind of guy. Like would have been great, but.
Oh yeah, I was pulling for Leo Rush, but then everybody's like, he's a headache, and I totally get that too, because you don't want a cancer in the locker room. So just asking W.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but also I would take CM Punk in a heartbeat.
Oh shit, yeah.